You know what's funny about you damn neurotypicals is that you all are more likely to go with conformity. And conformity is where everybody just wants to go ahead with the collective subconscious of the group. Like, basically, what you all will do is that if everyone in the group is thinking a certain way, feeling a certain way, or they're taking action a certain way, if the majority of the group is doing it, then other people will join in on what the majority is doing. Even if those few or individuals may not want to do what the group is doing, or they may not believe in what the group is doing, they may think otherwise, they will still go with what the group is doing, go with the majority, because they would rather stick with the majority than be the oddball out. That's why you neurotypicals are more likely to go into conformity, because you all don't want to be the oddball out. You don't want to be the one that is different. You want to be the one that you feel like you are safer when you want to feel like you belong. You feel like you're safer in numbers. You all are afraid to stand alone. You all are afraid to be different. Because look, you can see this in like especially social situations, when you have a group of neurotypicals and then you have one neurodivergent that comes to the group. Basically, if the whole entire group is, or if the majority, if the majority of the group is deciding to be physically present but socially distanced with the neurodivergent, they don't want to converse with them, they don't want to talk with them, they don't want to acknowledge the neurodivergent's presence, they want to just act like the neurodivergent is not there, they want to just ostracize them, isolate them, act like they are not a part of the group. Like, they want to basically give "you can't sit with us" energy without saying you can't sit with us. Like, you all give that energy off. And if the majority of the group is socially distancing themselves, but from a neurodivergent, but you all are just still physically present, then a lot of what can happen is that even if there are a couple of you within the group that you actually like the neurodivergent, you actually care about them, you actually fucks with them, you have nothing against them, you don't have any ill will towards the neurodivergent, but because you are with a group of neurotypicals, you all will just conform, because you all are just, it's subconsciously, it feels safer to you. And the whole time what's happening is that you all are thinking that to go with a group is to do the right thing, because you feel like if majority are doing this, then this must be right. Let me go ahead and do what's right. Because you think that going opposite of what the group is doing is, you think that it's wrong because everyone else is doing the opposite. So this can look like if majority of the group is like ignoring the neurodivergent, and you are the neurotypical that you actually like that neurodivergent, and you actually want to include them, you actually want to talk with them, you actually want to acknowledge their presence, you actually want to look up and look at them. Because I'm telling you, a lot of times what you neurotypicals will do, and y'all know y'all fucking do this, y'all will literally like not even look at the neurodivergent. Y'all would just be sitting here like, it's like y'all be like, oh my god, listen, if we don't look at them, maybe they'll go away. And y'all literally be like, trying to go out of your way to ignore this person. Like, you literally don't look at them, you don't acknowledge their existence, they're making their presence known, and you still want to not acknowledge their existence. It's bold as fucking, as lame as fuck, honestly. It's like, because we're looking directly at all of you, and you want to not look at us? Okay. But what'd be funny about it is that it's like, y'all want to like, intentionally ostracize and isolate and socially distance yourself from the neurodivergent person, because they just socialize differently with you all, and you all don't like different. You all are very uncomfortable with people that are different. And then what happens is you all think like, if we all could just collectively just ignore this person, not even look at them, not even acknowledge them, not even talk to them, then maybe they'll go away. But then whole time you got some neurotypicals in there that actually fuck with the neurodivergent, and they don't want to do that to them. They don't want to treat them that way. They don't want to be mean to them. They don't want to ostracize them, but they're so afraid of what can happen to them socially. They're so worried about what can happen to them socially if they actually, stick up for the neurodivergent person that's over there. So at that point, what happens is like, if the neurotypical could at some point just step into their boldness, step into their confidence, just be more secure within their self, have the strength, have the courage to actually include the neurodivergent, actually acknowledge them, look up at them, say, hey, how you doing? Or like make them feel a part of the group, make them feel welcome. Then you yourself, you have helped to shift the energy, because when one neurotypical can acknowledge a neurodivergent, the rest of you can as well. The rest of you can, because it's like, oh, we're talking to them? Okay, yeah, we can talk to them. But y'all all be like, we're not talking to them. We're gonna look this way. We're not gonna acknowledge their existence. We're gonna sit here and we're gonna play our spades, and we're not gonna look at them. You gotta go out of your way to ignore my fucking presence. You tried to make me feel small. You tried to make me feel like I was this big, when my presence was so big that it made y'all not even look up. The light was too strong. The light was too strong. It was shining too brightly on the demon inside of you that's a little bit ableist, that ostracizes people, that lacks humanity for people that are different than them. Neurodivergence come into any social interaction to test your humanity, and right there you are failing your test, baby. Because it won't kill you to acknowledge a neurodivergent person. It won't kill you to look with your two eyes at a neurodivergent person. It's not going to kill you. Why do y'all act like y'all be afraid of us sometimes? Like, we're not going to hurt you. Do not be afraid. Just because we're different doesn't mean that, just because we socialize different doesn't mean that we're a monster. In fact, we are the most purest people that you ever will come across. Really, you should be more afraid of the neurotypicals amongst you than the neurodivergent, baby. Like, let's be fucking for real. Anyway, like I was saying, so basically what happens is, like, the neurotypicals are so quick to conform to whatever the social, dynamic is vibing with at the time. And y'all are just so quick to do that because you all are so afraid to be different. You all are so afraid to be the oddball. You are so afraid to be the one that is looked as an outsider. But y'all are more comfortable with making another person feel like an outsider than you feeling like an outsider yourself. So it shows that the people that you keep trying to ostracize and make them feel like the outcast, like the outsider, is actually a lot more stronger and a lot more emotionally stronger than you all are. And I feel like a lot of the reasons is that a lot of neurotypicals, a lot of them, when they lack self-esteem, when they lack security within themselves, when they are still getting secure in their character and their moral standing and who they are, when they're still getting secure with themselves, they have a tendency to basically go against their own intuition, go against their own heart, because they'd rather act from the flesh. They'd rather act from their ego than acting from the soul. Because a neurotypical speak like, acting from their soul. They're not going to discriminate against a neurodivergent because they're like, you're human, I'm human. Why would I? Like, yeah, you're different, but who cares? We're both souls living this experience. But when you all are operating from your ego, your very fragile fucking ego, when y'all are operating so much from your ego, that's when you discriminate against neurodivergence, because y'all egos, y'all want to be the same. Y'all want to be one and the same. But a neurodivergent's ego is totally different than you all's. So y'all all on the same ego thing that y'all can't stand to see something different because you feel like it breaks the script. You feel like it just different makes you all uncomfortable, because then it's like, it's safer for you all to be the same because you don't have to be your true authentic self. Oh, come on. A lot of neurotypicals are afraid to be their true authentic self because they're afraid of being quirky. They're afraid of being eccentric. They're afraid of being whatever the case is. They're afraid of that. They think it's cringy, but they don't realize that when you can just be your true authentic self and you're secure, as quirky as you are, as eccentric as you are, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of you, because as long as you are secure within yourself and you love yourself and you love who you are, you accept who you are, every single version of you, it doesn't matter what anybody else says about you or what they think about you, because they cannot sway you anyway, because you are solid and secure in who you are. And a lot of times the neurodivergent is just a lot more secure with who they are. They accept who they are, and they are a threat to neurotypicals that lack self-esteem, that have insecurities. And that's why y'all go out of y'all way to yap and be so loud, screaming your insecurities, while the neurodivergent is silent, because confidence is silent, insecurities are loud.